Today we're using some of the bounty from almost everybody's summer garden, and that we're going to be using some fresh tomatoes, making a Caprese pasta salad. So I've got some hot water going here. I'm going to get the pasta started, although you can do the rest of the salad much earlier, do the pasta later, or you can do them together and let it sit for a while for the flavors to blend together. So I've got enough water to cook here, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of kosher salt to that. And then I've got a pound of medium shells. So you could use another pasta, obviously. The recipe called for this one, so I'm sticking with it. And they're just going in and they're going to cook for the minimum amount of time, which in this case will be about 7 minutes. While those are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get the tomato half of this salad going. I've got 2½ cups of fresh tomatoes. You don't need to peel them, you don't need to seed them, although you can do either if you choose. But it's about 2½ cups, give or take, because it's salad and you can play with the ingredients. So I'd rather use all of a tomato than have one sit in the refrigerator for a while. I'm also going to add to that 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. This is one of those salads that, because the fresh ingredients are the key, each ingredient needs to be the best that you can get. So if you've got heirloom tomatoes, slicing tomatoes, that are going to give you a much better tasting salad. You could make this in the winter, but you're not going to be nearly as happy with it. Also going to add to this about 10 large leaves of basil that I've cut in chiffonade, which means you just lay them flat, roll them up, and slice them. And then 2 cloves of garlic that have been minced. And this one of these was really big, so I'm not going to try and clean that one out completely. I've got about 1/8 of a teaspoon or a big pinch of red pepper flakes, about a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Now we did salt the pasta because I want some flavor coming out of there, but I've also added some here. If you're worried about that the sodium may be a little bit too high, you may notice that we also have some fresh mozzarella here, which tends not to have as much sodium in it as like a cheese stick, although that's mozzarella as well. So you won't get quite as much of a kick here, but it would be a good idea for you to go ahead and, if you're concerned about the sodium content, to wait and let this blend together. You can always add more salt, but it's real hard to take it back out. You're going to cover this, set it in the refrigerator, and you can do this part of it up to 3 hours ahead of time. You want to make sure that you get it all well blended so that it's getting plenty of time and plenty of exposure to all the ingredients, so the marination goes across the board here rather than just in pockets and have a lot of salt or a lot of basil in one place. Again, this can be done 3 hours ahead of time. It just needs to be in the refrigerator, or you can wait and do this closer to the time the pasta is ready. So we'll just wait here until we have pasta. Pasta's done. Make sure you get it drained really well. Now, it's okay if you have a little bit of water in some of the shells, because you might want to have a little bit of that extra water in the salad anyway, just like when you make any other pasta sauce. Just going to stir these together. I did cool the pasta down a little bit because I didn't want it to actually melt the cheese. Now this you can serve now. You can let it come to room temperature, or you can put it in the refrigerator and serve it a little bit later. You might have a little bit more basil sliced up to add to it, but this is all there is to doing this one. It's really good. It's a full meal because you have the cheese in there, and it's full of flavor with the garlic and the basil and everything else, and it's designed to look like the Italian flag with the red, green, and white. So I hope you'll give it a try. I think you'll like it if you do. It's Caprese pasta salad. For Oklahoma Gardening, I'm Barbara Brown.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.